This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. Because then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Beloved, today we are picking up in the 21st chapter of Exodus, verse 1. Now these are the judgments which you shall set before them. If you buy a Hebrew servant, he shall serve 6 years, and in the 7th he shall go out free and pay nothing. If he comes in by himself, he shall go out by himself. And if he comes in married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master has given him a wife, and she has borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out by himself. But if the servant plainly says, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free, then his master shall bring him to the judges. He shall also bring him to the door or to the doorpost, and his master shall pierce his ear with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. And if a man sells his daughter to be a female slave, she shall not go out as the male slaves do. If she does not please her master, who has betrothed her to himself, then he shall let her be redeemed. He shall have no right to sell her to a foreign people, since he has dealt deceitfully with her. And if he has betrothed her to his son, he shall deal with her according to the custom of daughters. And if he takes another wife, he shall not diminish her food, her clothing, and her marriage rights. And if he does not do these 3 for her, then she shall go out free without paying money. Verse 12. He who strikes a man so that he dies shall surely be put to death. However, if he did not lie in wait, but Yahuwah delivered him into his hand, then I will appoint for you a place where he may flee. But if a man acts with premeditation against his neighbor to kill him by treachery, you shall take him from my altar that he may die. And he who strikes his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. He who kidnaps a man and sells him, or if he is found in his hand, shall surely be put to death. And he who curses his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. If men contend with each other, and one strikes the other with a stone or with his fist, and he does not die, but is confined to his bed, if he rises again and walks about outside with his staff, then he who struck him shall be acquitted. He shall only pay for the loss of his time, and shall provide for him to be thoroughly healed. And if a man beats his male or female servant with a rod, so that he dies under his hand, he shall surely be punished. Notwithstanding, if he remains alive a day or 2, he shall not be punished, for he is his property. Verse 22, if men fight and hurt a woman with child, so that she gives birth prematurely, yet no harm follows, he shall surely be punished accordingly as the woman's husband imposes on him, and he shall pay as the judges determine. But if any harm follows, then you shall give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, and foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. Verse 26, if a man strikes the eye of his male or female servant and destroys it, he shall let him go free for the sake of his eye. And if he knocks out the tooth of his male or female servant, then he shall let him go free for the sake of his tooth. Verse 28, If an ox gores a man or a woman to death, then the ox shall surely be stoned, and its flesh shall not be eaten, but the owner of the ox shall be acquitted. But if the ox tended to thrust with its horn in times past, and it has been made known to his owner, and he has not kept it confined, so that it has killed a man or a woman, the ox shall be stoned, and its owner also shall be put to death. If there is imposed on him a sum of money, then he shall pay to redeem his life, whatever is imposed on him. Whether it has gored a son or gored a daughter, according to this judgment, it shall be done to him. If the ox gores a male or a female servant, he shall give to their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox shall be stoned. And if a man opens a pit, or if a man digs a pit and does not cover it up, and an ox or a donkey falls into it, the owner of the pit shall make it good. He shall give money to their owner, but the dead animal shall be his. That means shall be the person who dug the pit. If one man's ox hurts another's so that it dies, then they shall sell the live ox and divide the money from it, and the dead ox they shall also divide. Or if it was known that the ox tended to thrust in times past, and its owner has not kept it confined, then he shall surely pay ox for ox, and the dead animal shall be his own. Chapter 22. If a man steals an ox or a sheep and slaughters it or sells it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. That's 4 FOUR, sheep for 1 sheep. That's if he steals. That's for a thief. Verse 2. If the thief is found breaking in and he is struck so that he dies, there shall be no guilt for his bloodshed. If the sun has risen on him, there shall be guilt for his bloodshed. He should make full restitution. If he has nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft. If the theft is certainly found, if the theft is certainly found alive in his hand, this is like referring to an animal, people. Verse 4. If the theft is certainly found alive in his hand, whether it is an ox or donkey or sheep, he shall restore double. If a man causes a field or vineyard to be grazed and lets loose his animals, and it feeds in another man's field, then he shall make restitution from the best of his own field and the best of his own vineyard. If fire breaks out and catches in thorns, so that stacked grain, standing grain, or the field is consumed, he who kindled the fire shall surely make restitution. Verse 7. If a man delivers his neighbor money or articles to keep, and it is stolen out of the man's house, if the thief is found, he shall pay double. And if the thief is not found, then the master of the house shall be brought to the judges to see whether he has put his hand into his neighbor's goods. For any kind of trespass, whether it concerns an ox, a donkey, a sheep, or clothing, or for any kind of lost thing which another claims to be his, the cause of both parties shall come before the judges, and whomever the judges condemn shall pay double to his neighbor. If a man delivers to his neighbor a donkey, an ox, a sheep, or any animal to keep, and it dies, is hurt, or driven away, no one seeing it, then an oath of the Most High shall be between them both, that he has not put his hand into his neighbor's goods, and the owner of it shall accept that, and he shall not make it good. But if, in fact, it is stolen from him, he shall make restitution to the owner for it. Verse 13. If it is torn to pieces by a beast, then he shall bring it as evidence, and he shall not make good of what was torn. And if a man borrows anything from his neighbor and it becomes injured or dies, the owner of it not being with it, he shall surely make it good. So that's referring to like an animal. If you borrow my ox or you borrow my donkey. Verse 15. If its owner was with it, he shall not make it good. If it was hired, it came for its hire. So that means you take a business risk. Verse 15 is saying if you were renting out your ox or your donkey and something happened to the ox or the donkey, well, that's a business risk. Verse 16. If a man entices a virgin who is not betrothed, and he lies with her, he shall surely pay the bride price for her to be his wife. If her father utterly refuses to give her to him, he shall pay money according to the bride price of virgins. You shall not permit a sorceress to live. Verse 18, Exodus 22:18. You shall not permit a sorceress, that's a witch, to live. Verse 19, whoever lies with an animal shall surely be put to death. He who sacrifices to any other god except to the Most High only, he shall be utterly destroyed. You shall neither mistreat a stranger nor oppress him. Remember, you were strangers in the land of Egypt. Verse 22, you shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. Exodus 22:22, you shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. Exodus 22:22, you shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. And if you afflict them in any way and they cry at all to the Most High will surely hear their cry, and his wrath will become hot, and he will kill you with the sword, and your wives shall be widows, and your children shall be fatherless. That's Exodus chapter 22, verses 22 through 24, people. Verse 25. If you lend money to any of my people who are poor among you, you shall not be like a moneylender to him. You shall not charge him interest. If you ever take your neighbor's garments as a pledge, you shall return it to him before the sun goes down. Because that is his only covering. It is his garment for his skin. What will he sleep? What will he sleep in? And it will be that when he cries out to me, this is the Most High speaking, and it will be that when he cries out to me, I will hear, because I am gracious. Verse 28, you shall not revile the Most High, nor curse a ruler of your people. You shall not delay to offer the first of your ripe produce and your juices. The firstborn of your sons you shall give to me. Likewise, you shall do with your oxen and your sheep. It shall be with its mother 7 days, and on the 8th day you shall give it to me. And you shall be holy men to me. You shall not eat meat torn by beasts in the field, and you shall throw it to the dogs. I want to explain or expound on verse 29. You shall not delay to offer the first of the ripe produce and your juices. The firstborn of your sons you shall give to me. Verse 29 is basically there was a method in the law by which that firstborn that you had to give unto the Most High was redeemed. I just want to point that out. Beloved, that has been the 21st and the 22nd chapters of Exodus. I am Michael Esquia, elder of the ancient and glorious people and your fellow soldier. Receive my exhortation. I exhort you, O Jeshurun, to be poor in spirit, because ours is the kingdom of heaven. And I exhort you, beloved, to grieve and to mourn, because we shall be comforted. And I exhort you, beloved, to be meek, because we are going to inherit the whole entire earth. And I exhort you, beloved, to hunger and to thirst for righteousness, because we're going to be filled. And I exhort you, beloved, to have mercy for the beloved, because we have obtained mercy. And I exhort you, beloved, to have a pure heart. We all must see Elohim. And I exhort you, beloved, to make peace, justice, and equity throughout all of Jeshurun, for we shall all be called the sons of Elohim. Beloved, proudly bear persecution for the truth. We reject white supremacy. White supremacy is a lie. And we reject feminism because feminism is a lie. We reject self-hate because self-hate is born of lies. Beloved, we are the salt of the earth. Be bold. Beloved, we are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden. Beloved, blessed are we when we are hated and persecuted, and all sorts of lies are spoken against us because of the truth. Beloved, let us rejoice and be exceedingly glad. We're going to let our light so shine before men that they see it and they will glorify our Abba who is in heaven. Now, dear Abba in heaven, awesome and kind Elohim thou art, I ask you, Abba, that these who have heard my voice today would have understanding, and that their righteousness will far exceed the righteousness of these churches and these mosques, these lodges and these synagogues that so many of your beloved have been trapped in. Let them never again, Abba, be caught up in the diabolical deceptions of white supremacy, but deliver your people from evil. For thine, awesome Yahuwah, is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.